little nervous about having drinks with your mother, but she was nicer than she's ever been to me.
Oh, well, I held my breath a few times, just out of habit, but they seemed to go very well.
I still can't believe how complimentary she was about my singing.
Yeah, she sure was.
That meant a lot to me, Jason. Especially since you've been so negative about it lately.
I'm sorry, Nola, but a lot of things in this Earl Rogers deal just still don't make sense to me.
Look, I'm sure after I go to New York and meet with him, it'll make perfect sense.
There are things you should find out before going all the way to New York to meet somebody who you only talk with on the phone.
Jason, he's offering me a break that comes along once in a lifetime, if you're lucky.
And you're not curious why he's promising you a big career after hearing you sing just once?
Look, he heard me, he liked me, he thinks I have what it takes. Now that's good enough for me.
Nola, don't you ever wonder about where all the money's coming from to put this new act together?
From him, I guess.
I'm not so sure. It's a big gamble. Most stations wouldn't take that kind of a risk with an unknown.
Obviously, he thinks he's going to make his money back with me, or he wouldn't have called me.
It just doesn't hold together. Any good agent who finds a performer he's crazy about would go back after the show to see them, set up an appointment.
Why do you insist on being such a downer about it all?
Because I don't want you to get your hopes up and then be disappointed if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, well, the only thing that's disappointing me right now is your attitude.
I'm sorry.
And I'm not going to let you bring me down with you. I am going to New York expecting the best. And if Earl Rogers says he can make me a star, then that's good enough for me.
Excuse me, Mr. Aldrich. There's a telephone call for you at the maitre d's desk.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Aldrich. This is Earl Rogers returning your call.
Hello, Mr. Rogers.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Mr. Rogers, I'm sorry to put you through so much trouble.
Oh, it's quite all right. As my secretary told me it was urgent, I should get back to you right away.
I appreciate it.
What can I do for you?
Well, I understand that my wife, Doreen, contacted you about helping out a singer she's very fond of here in Madison.
Well, Mr. Aldrich, why don't you have Doreen call me?
Well, Mr. Rogers, it's quite all right. Doreen told me that she'd ask you to keep her involvement confidential, but I handle all of her financial affairs, and she thought it best if I talked to you directly.
I see. I'm sorry, Mr. Aldrich. Yes, Doreen did ask me to see what I could do for a young girl named Nola Dancy.
Right. Now, the reason I'm calling this is that Doreen was very vague about the financial arrangements the two of you had made about covering the cost of Nola's new act.
Well, actually, we haven't gone into that, Mr. Aldrich.
Well, all I need to know now is if Doreen's going to reimburse you for whatever cost you're going to have to use to get Nola started in New York, and when.
Well, now, all Doreen said was that she would eventually pay me back all the costs. Now, my relationship with Doreen and her father go pretty far back. We've never signed a contract, and we don't have to now.
Well, whatever you say. Tell me, have you ever heard Miss Dancy sing?
No, I haven't. But if Doreen is as excited as she seems to be, well, I'm sure that I can help her get started.
Really? I always thought New York was a very tough city to get a career started in.
She may not make it here right away, but it's a big world, Mr. Aldrich, and there are lots of smaller clubs that are looking for entertainers. Now, should she not make it here, then we'll send her out on the circuit.
You mean right back to towns like Madison?
Exactly. But first, we will give her that crack at New York.
Well, it's very interesting. Well, Mr. Rogers, I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you, and we will be in touch.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Oh, and please, tell your wife not to worry about a thing. I'll give Nola the full Rogers treatment.
Fine. Goodbye. Operator, this is Jason Aldridge. Would you please ring my wife, Sweet, please? No, no, operator, no message. I think I know where I can find her. Thank you.
Is everything all right?
Well, not really. Look, something's just come up that I have to take care of right away. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. I still have a lot of things to do before I can leave for New York anyway.
George, I'll send you home in a cab if it's okay.
Must be important.
It is.
Will you be by later?
Might not make it tonight, but I'll call first thing in the morning.
Fine. Maybe by then you will have realized that the only reason Earl Rogers is willing to invest so much money in my career is because he thinks I'm good.
Maybe. George, put this on my tab, please.
Of course.
Let's go.
For a low-cost SBA loan right online. We're SmartBiz Loans, rated best place to apply online for an SBA loan. We'll help you pre-qualify for up to $350,000 of working capital or up to $5 million to buy your building.
We have a 10-year loan. Our repayment is only $1,600 a month.
Now with the SBA loan, we're only paying 6%, and I can afford that.
SmartBiz Loans, the #1 online marketplace for SBA loans.
Doreen, you're not going to believe this. Look at this chart. Laurie Sands is sold out through her entire engagement, and she hasn't even opened yet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, when word of that gets back to the agents in New York, they're going to be anxious to book their best people here.
This is incredible. I can't believe it. Oh, this is amazing to me.
Didn't I tell you everything was going to work out beautifully? Your room in there is filled to capacity, and Nola's all excited about her career in New York.
Thanks to you. You were right all the way down the line.
Well, now, baby, you'll learn to trust my judgment.
Oh, I do. I do.
Oh, good, right.
Excuse me. Excuse me? Sure. Excuse me. Sorry.
Good evening, Carl. Mr. Aldrich, I didn't know you were coming tonight. I'm afraid you'll have to sit at the bar. We're completely booked. Perhaps I can get a table for you.
No, thanks. I'm not staying for the show. I just wanted to know if Mrs. Aldrich was in here tonight.
Yes, she is. She's in the office at the moment with Mr. Dancy. And I'd be glad to call and tell her you're here.
No, that's all right. She's expecting me. Thank you.
Fine.
Jason! Jason, hello!
Hi, Eleanor.
Oh, will you sit down and let me buy you a drink? I'd like that very much.
Well, thank you, but I have to take care of some business with Luke right now.
Oh, I see. When you finish, you come back.
I don't know how long I'll be. Does Luke know that you're here?
No, I don't want him to know. I'm here as a surprise for him, for Laurie Sands. Big opening.
Oh, you see. Well, I'd better be going, but I'll stop by on my way out.
Shh, not a word. Promise.
I promise.
You know, I've got an idea. Why don't we increase Laurie's engagement for 2 more weeks? I mean, we've canceled out enough reservations to pack the place.
Fine, your agent agrees.
Great, I'll call him up first thing tomorrow morning. And it's probably going to cost us more money.
Well, Beauty, as you have always said, you have to spend money to make it, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Sorry, Luke. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Not at all. Come on in, Jason.
Thanks. Hello, Doreen.
Hello, Jason. See that crowd out there?
Yeah. I want to talk to you about something, Doreen.
Oh, Jason, can't it wait until tomorrow? This is an exciting evening for my partner and me.
No, it can't wait.
Well, listen, if you two want to talk privately, I'll just go out front and check on some things.
I think you should stick around, Luke. Since Doreen's your partner, I think you should know how she operates.
Jason, what on earth is this all about?
I just talked to Earl Rogers in New York. Luke, do you remember my telling you how I thought there was just too much coincidence in Nola losing her job here and then 2 or 3 days later getting an offer from Earl Rogers in New York?
Yeah, I remember. But do you remember I told you everything was on the up and up?
That depends on who you talk to. Now, I knew I'd never get a straight answer from Doreen, so I called Rogers myself to ask him a few questions.
About what?
About Nola. He confirmed my suspicions by telling me he never heard her sing.
What?
And the only reason he made the offer is because Doreen called him and asked him to as a special favor.
Wait a minute now. Doreen, you told me that you didn't know Earl Rogers.
She knows him, Luke. Rogers owes her father a lot of favors. You see, Doreen set this whole thing up to get Nola out of town and away from me.
I can't believe it. Doreen?
Well, I guess there's really no use pretending anymore. Of course I called Earl Rogers. I just didn't want anyone to know that I was involved.
Why?
Well, because Nola might suspect if she knew I had arranged it and never accept the offer, and that would be such a pity because, well, she has such special talent and really deserves a career.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, Luke, you're her brother. And I thought if I'd told either one of you and Nola found out, well, she'd let her pride
The only
stand
reason
in
you
her way.
called Rogers in the first place was to get Nola out of Madison as fast as you could.
Oh, Jason, that's nonsense.
No, it's the truth. You're threatened by her, and you have been ever since the first day you got here.
That's ridiculous.
Now, don't play games with me, Doreen. I'm not going to let Nola go to New York and get cut apart by a bunch of fast-talking agents just to fulfill some little scheme of yours to get rid of her.
Oh, Jason, you really surprised me. I thought you believed in Nola's talents as much as anyone.
Now, don't try that on me either. I know as well as you do that Nola has not the experience yet to make it in New York.
Well, I totally disagree. And besides, I think we should let people like Earl Rogers decide that.
Earl Rogers wouldn't give Nola subway fare unless you had promised to reimburse him.
Wait a minute, Jason. I want to ask Doreen a question.
Just be my guest.
Doreen, you set this whole thing up?
Yes, Luke, I did. I recommended Nola, well, because I think she has something very special to offer, and she deserves a chance at this marvelous career.
Do you believe that?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Luke. Knowing Doreen as well as you do, can you actually believe that out of the goodness of her heart she did this because she's so impressed with Nola's talent?
Yeah, who is it?
Mr. Dancy, I'm sorry to disturb you, but...
That's okay, Carl. What do you want?
Well, Mrs. Conrad is at the bar, and I think she's in trouble.
No. I never heard Laurie Sands sing. But Mr. Dancy tells me she's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, she is.
I'm having another drink, and I'd like to buy you a drink.
No.
Tell me what you're having.
We have to leave you. Thank you very much.
No.
No, we're leaving. Thank you. Excuse us.
Eleanor? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm a surprise. I came to Laurie Sands because the people here are so nice. Did you know those...
Keep it down. People are watching you.
Oh. Don't be angry now. I'm taking your advice.
What about?
You said I was too much time alone at home in the apartment. That's true. And I decided I was going to have a good time. I was going to see people.
Or why did you have to choose tonight? I mean, you know I'm busy.
You don't have to pay any attention to me. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to watch the show.
Listen, Eleanor, I think we better go now. Come on, I'm going to get you
Oh,
a cab. Come
Luke,
on.
no, the show has not even started. You go and work. You do whatever it is you do. I'm fine.
Jason, will you please stop treating me as though I'm on a witness stand? I have told the truth.
And I don't believe one word of it.
Well, then that's your problem. All I was doing is trying to help Nola's career because I believe she deserves a chance.
I want you to call Rogers tomorrow morning and cancel this whole thing.
Oh, do you?
Absolutely.
And spoil her one last chance at success. Oh, Jason, how selfish of you.
I don't think it's selfish at all. If Nola goes to New York, she'll be back home in a month, broken and disillusioned.
Maybe not. From what I understand, she's excited about this offer.
Well, she wouldn't be if she knew where it really came from. Now, you call him off.
And what do you intend to offer her in return?
That's my...
No! It is also Nola's business. You're still a married man, Jason. All you can offer her is a continuance of the relationship you've had, and we both know there's no future in that. I'm sure she knows that also. So if you continue and stand in her way, she might suspect you have ulterior motives.
I don't think so.
Nola is a very ambitious young woman, and she's smart enough to know it doesn't matter where this offer came from. It's her last chance, and if I'm not mistaken, she'll take it.
I'm warning you, Doreen. Call Rogers and cancel this whole arrangement, or you're going to be very sorry.
Darling, you know how I hate to be threatened.
And you know I don't threaten unless I mean it.
Oh, Jason, this is so boring. I think I'll go and see the show. It starts soon. Excuse me. Ta.
Eleanor, come on now. You're in no condition to be sitting here by yourself. Let me have a drink.
I am not by myself. There are friendly people here. They're all friendly, and I should have taken your advice. So, look, bartender, I'd like to buy a drink for all my friends.
Come on, Eleanor. You gotta go. Get rid of the drink. Come on. Mike, I'll be right back.
Would you please get rid of her? The show's going to start, and she's making a terrible disturbance.
I'm trying, but she doesn't want to leave.
Well, then call the maitre d' and have a couple of waiters come and help them into cab, please. Now.
All right. Eleanor.
Oh, I
Come on,
know
we
you're
gotta go.
busy. Don't. No,
come on,
you
we gotta
go into work. I'm
I'm
going
gonna get one of the waiters to help you home. Make sure that you get home all right. Come on, let go of the drink. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Don't, please. That's not
Excuse me.
necessary.
Eleanor?
Jason, you did come back.
I was just about to leave. Why don't I drop you off at your place?
That's very kind of you. I don't want you to be involved.
Oh,
We have
now
to...
you're not involving me in anything. Come on.
No.
Come on. It'll be a pleasure to see you get home safely. Excuse me.
Oh, all right.
There.
did you know?
MJ's still asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Some coffee?
Thanks. I'm glad you stopped me before I rang the doorbell. I don't want to wake her. How is she?
She was so exhausted when I got home from the hospital, she went right to bed. But then she was tossing, turning all night. She even talked in her sleep.
Thanks. Well, what happened last night after I left?
Oh, she got upset all over again. She insisted on waiting around till Ricky woke up so she could tell him about Betsy and Dick. Dr. Powers and I had to take her out of the room bodily.
Well, the thing is, you just have to realize how close she and Betsy were.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a shock to her. It's going to take a long time to get over this.
I know. That's why I don't think it's such a good idea to have Ricky come here. At least not till we're set up and prepared for him.
Well, I don't agree with you. I think it's good for her to have to take care of him. You know how much energy she's got. Anything to keep her from sitting around, dwelling on it.
I'm afraid it'll be another emotional strain on her.
Well, maybe if she were alone, it would be different. She's got you.
Yeah. I just wish she'd consider letting Ellie or Midge take care of Ricky for a while. Until we can set things up so we're prepared to take care of him properly.
I understand how you feel. But I don't think MJ's going to.
Carolee, we both work. And when he's not in school, there'll be nobody here to take care of him.
Well, not necessarily. Maybe MJ can switch your schedule at Hope. Or even if not, you can probably find some dependable person to come in the afternoon for a few hours.
I don't know. I wish we had a few more months to get our act together.
You can handle it. I know you can.
I know. But I'm also thinking about MJ. Maybe you could suggest to her that we let Ricky stay with Frank and Ellie just for a while.
No!
Oh, honey, I didn't mean to wake you up.
Pop, Ricky isn't going anywhere. He's coming here to live with us.
No, you don't understand. Tom was just talking about a short time, so the two of you can get ready before...
No! I made a promise. We both made a promise to Betsy before she died that we would care for Ricky and we would raise him as our own son. Now, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to bring him here as soon as he's strong enough to leave the hospital.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Hi.
Hi. Want any coffee?
Sure, there's a whole pot full on the stove. Help yourself.
Thanks. What are you doing?
Trying to decide what to take with me to New York. What's the weather like there this time of year anyway?
Well, it can either be real cool fall weather or Indian summer, hot and humid.
It's not much help.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Well, I guess I'll just have to pack accordingly.
How long are you going to stay this first time?
Well, Earl Rogers wants me there for 3 or 4 days. He wants me to meet all the people I'll be working with. And I also have to look for an apartment.
Don't you think a resident hotel might be a better idea?
You mean one of those places for women only? I'd hate that. It'd be like prison.
Well, I only meant this. If you decide not to stay, you wouldn't be tied into a lease or anything.
Well, if this visit works out, I will be staying.
You can't be sure of that.
Why wouldn't I be?
You may hate it.
Jason, I'm not going to New York to see the sights. I'm going there to work. You live where you work.
Nola, may I say something without you getting all upset?
I guess so.
What if you don't make it?
What are you trying to say?
I mean, What if everything goes just like you planned it? You get this big fancy act together, you work your tail off doing it. You open at the Rainbow Grill and...
I blow it? Fall on my face?
Yeah.
Well, I won't. A man of Earl Rogers' reputation wouldn't put up all that money if there was a chance of that happening.
You told me yourself it's a gamble. Those are your very words.
Well, sure, all of show business is a gamble. But with Earl Rogers on my side, I've got all the odds in my corner.
All right, let's say he was wrong, just for argument's sake, and that you're not ready for New York.
No, I'm not going to argue against myself, Jason. Only losers do that. And I'm no loser. Besides, I don't have to put myself down. I've got you here to do that for me.
I'm not putting you down.
Oh, you could have fooled me. You know, ever since I first got this offer, you've never once thought about what could happen for me if I do make it. All you've ever thought about is what'll happen if you don't.
Because I don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah, so you'd rather hurt me yourself by telling me over and over I don't have what it takes?
No, I'd rather your pride be hurt a little bit now than end up crushed 6 months from now in New York. Nola, I care too much about you to stand by and watch you open yourself up to a lot of hurt.
So I should just stick around in Madison until I'm too old to ever do anything important.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, what are you saying? And while we're on the subject, what do you have to offer me here as an alternative to what Earl Rogers is offering me in New York?
It isn't my business to make
Yeah, well,
offers.
it is his business. And he's made one, and it's a beauty, and I'd be a fool to turn it down because I'll probably never get anything like this again in my life.
So you're going to risk everything and run off to New York? Your pride, what we have together?
Yes, Jason, because I've got nothing here except more of the same, and I've tried that, and it's the end of the road. So I'm going to risk everything to be somebody. Now, I'm sure you would never understand that because you've always been somebody. But this is my big chance, and I am going to take it.
That's right, honey. Carolee and I were just talking things over. We weren't about to make any kind of decision without talking to you first.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got so upset.
Here you go.
Thank you. I just heard, all I heard was something about Ricky going to live with Frank and Ellie, and I guess I was half asleep.
Well, at least you got a good night's rest.
I was so out of it yesterday. I think everybody at the hospital must think I've lost my senses.
Oh, come on. They understand what you're going through.
I just couldn't accept it all.
I know. The thing is, we just gotta take it one day at a time from now on. Pain will get less in time. No, that's a little hard to believe right now.
I think having Ricky here will help.
That's what I was just saying to Tom.
Sort of like having a part of Betsy.
Honey, that's what I was saying to Carolee when you overheard us. I think maybe if you wait a little while till you feel a little stronger. But, and that poor little guy, he's been through so much already.
He's right. He needs the time to adjust to things.
That's exactly what I meant.
No. I don't want that child to be shuttled from one relative to another. Ricky needs permanence. Every child needs permanence, especially Ricky. He grew up, they were such a close family, and they never did anything without each other. Sorry.
It's all right. We gotta let it out.
Honey, maybe I can get some time off from the bank, and you and I can go away together for a few weeks.
Oh, now that's a great idea.
I can't go away and leave Ricky. Ricky has got to feel as if he's part of a real family right away, and the way to do that is to bring him straight here from the hospital.
All right, look. Look, the point is, are you really up to it? I mean, come on, this child is going to be your full responsibility, emotionally and every other way.
Of course he is. That's exactly why Betsy made us promise that we would raise him and adopt him as our own son.
Are you ready for that kind of emotional load after the strain that you've been through?
Tom, I have to be. I promised.
Look, I think Betsy would rather you did what was right for Ricky, regardless of what you promised.
This will be right for Ricky. You and I will see that it is.
Honey, we live in a one-bedroom apartment. We've got to think about school, clothes. You know what a tight budget we're on.
Tom, you were just talking about material things. What Ricky needs is love, and we can give him all he needs.
Hey, look, you two. I've got to get to the hospital, so you go on talking, okay?
Oh, can you wait a minute while I get dressed?
Where are you going now, MJ?
Tom, I'm going to the hospital. I think Ricky has to be told, and the longer I put it off, the harder it's going to be.
But MJ...
No, it's not fair to go on lying or pretending to him. It will only be worse when he's told the truth.
I agree with her.
Somehow I'll find the words. I have to.
Hey, are you gonna go with her? I really think that telling Ricky's gonna be the hardest thing she's done so far.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Hey, Jenny. What are you thinking of? You look like you're a million miles away.
Tom and MJ. So much has happened to them just a few days since their wedding.
Sure was a tough way to start off.
Tom looked so lost the night I stayed with him at the hospital.
Honey, maybe you ought to stop over at the apartment and talk to them.
I'll call later from Mrs. Cross. We gotta find out about the funeral arrangements. We gotta send him flowers.
Boy, I can take care of that while you're at work. Just call me with the information.
Hey, speaking of calls, didn't I hear Sarah mention something about the employment agency calling?
Yeah, there's nothing to work out for us, honey.
Why? What was it?
Night custodian at the grammar school.
Well, that sounds good as a start.
Honey, you're working all day, I'd be working all night. We'd never see each other at all.
Yeah, but Barney, it could lead to something else.
Oh, yeah, sure. In time, I work up to be the janitor. Come on.
Well, what's the matter with that? It's good, honest work.
Yeah, you finish your coffee, honey. I'll take care.
Barney.
Hey, look who's here.
Marty's Mom still here?
You betcha. Come on in. Ginny, look who's here, huh?
Hello, Ma.
Morning.
Hey, sweetie, here, sit down and get some coffee, will you? Now, your mother made those honey biscuits
No,
for you.
thanks, Barney.
No, sit here. I have to be leaving for work anyway.
No, Mom, I came here to talk to you.
Nola, I told you last time we haven't anything more to say to each other.
I think we do. Now, I'm leaving for New York tomorrow or the next day, and I don't want to leave here with things like this between us.
Yeah, Sarah told us about that call you had from the big shot in New York. Gee, I'm thrilled for you.
Thanks, Barney.
Hey, you know what? Someday Virginia and I are going to be sitting here watching the TV set, see? And we're going to point you out to our friends and say, that's our little girl. Won't we, Virginia? Oh, we're so proud.
Yeah, well,
honey.
you're going to have to wait a while for that. I'm no big TV star yet.
Oh, yeah? Let me tell you something, kid. You have what it takes. Your looks, your talent, and personality. You know, before long, you're going to be inviting Ginny and me on your yacht.
Oh, Mom, please, wish me luck, will you?
You know I wish you only the best. That hasn't stopped just because of what's been happening. I just wonder now if you're sure that this is what you really want.
Mom, it's everything I've ever dreamed of.
Never could keep track of your dreams, honey. I mean, ever since you were a little girl, they just changed so fast.
There were some of them I was always afraid to mention out loud. This is one of them. To be somebody really special.
You are really special. And it doesn't take somebody in New York to point you out to make you really special. We're all special in our own way.
I envy you feeling that way. No, I really do, Mama, because you can feel it inside. I never have been able to. And maybe that's why I need all those people out there to point me out.
Then I hope you find what you want, honey, whatever it is. I hope it makes you happy.
Well, if everything Earl Rogers is talking about happens, then I will be happy.
Hope so. I wish...
No, Mama. What do you wish?
I wish you were going to New York and leaving your life here because you wanted to start a new one without that relationship with Jason Aldrich, which has been wrong from the beginning.
Mama, as much as I want to be friends with you, I can't tell you that I don't care about Jason because I do.
Of course you do, honey, and he cares for you, too. And he told me so himself.
It doesn't matter how much he cares for her. He can't offer her anything.
Jenny, now you can't blame Nola because she doesn't behave the same way you did when you were her age.
Barney, maybe Mama's right.
What?
Maybe Jason's already given me everything he had in mind.
You believe... Oh, honey, because it is the truth, as hard as it might be to accept.
Anyway, I am going to go to New York and make lots of money so you don't have to work in that awful job. And you know, you get a nice house
No,
to
don't
live.
you get me dreaming, because it doesn't work for some of us. Oh, honey, I hope your dreams work for you this time. I do.
I love you, Mama.
Oh, you take care of yourself in the city, you hear? And then, someday, when you're on the TV, you be sure and let us know, and your father can brag about you to all his friends.
Good morning, Dr. Rollins. Still sleeping? He dozed off again after he had his breakfast.
Oh, good. I talked to Dr. Powers, and she told me what happened in here last night after I left.
MJ got very emotional.
That's the last kind of thing this little guy needs. May I see his chart? Oh, sure. Thank you.
Morning, Dr. Rawlings.
Good morning, MJ. Carolee.
Listen, I want to thank you for everything you did for Betsy. And for me. I should have said something yesterday, but I just wasn't with it.
I understand. No need to apologize.
And I'm so grateful to you for being here with Ricky.
I'm so glad to do whatever I can. Ricky's going to need all the help he can get.
With your permission, Dr. Rawlings, I'd like to tell him the truth today.
I know it's going to be hard, but I think it's best. Pat, why don't you and I step out in the hall so MJ and our family can be with him alone?
Thanks.
With all the love you can find, MJ.
I will.
Good luck.
You want me to stay? Oh, yes. I want you and Tom both to be here. I can't find the next word or something. Morning, honey.
Hi, Aunt MJ.
Oh, you're looking better today.
So are you.
Oh, Ricky. Tom and I have so many things to talk over with you. Some of what we have to tell you is happy news. At least to us. Some of it is sad.